say and think that, hey, I know that person. I know what they intend and they're with me in this or in that. But do we really know the people around us? No, we don't. We hope we do, but we really don't. And many people always say that you don't need prayers, you don't need God, but this is the reality. You can give me all the money, all the cars, everything that I need. At the end of the day, life is still spiritual, whether you like it or not. And as much as we may want to deny the facts at hand, the thing is, everything that we see didn't start in the physical. Someone thought it. That thinking, what's that? From a spiritual point of view. Then became physical when they started working on it within the physical. So everything we see, we do, we have starts. We have dreams, we have visions, and we put them into implementation in the physical. So there are things we cannot deny. Now, where am I going with this? Let's look at Jehoiada the priest who tried to rescue King Joash. The book of Kings gives us a synopsis, but the Chronicles second gives us now expounds more about it. What do we notice? That once the priest Jehoiada was gone, his son Zechariah, who was a prophet and came and faced King Joash. And this is King Joash we're talking about. King Joash, who was the grandson of Queen Athaliah, who had been rescued by his aunt when Queen Athaliah decided to finish every child and all her grandsons, to be precise. But we come and see that when King Joash, after the death of Jehoiada the priest, he killed Zechariah. He forgot the good that was done to him. Let's go to Gideon and the 300. They go, they win the battles that they win, but when he's gone, nobody remembers him. What do I mean? His children, 72, Abimelech rises, smites the 71 escapes. So pretty much. And the people still forget. This is what we need to understand in life. We really don't know what's ahead of us or behind us. We can live this life and say, you've left your home to your kids or to whatever. Who told you they will live in that home? Don't you have situations whereby people die, family, and your own family or kindred decide to take everything that was meant for your kids and they cast them away? Don't you have scenarios whereby someone will be living outside their country so that they are in a better income kind of situation and they're sending money back home? When they're sending back home, they are hoping that the money will be able to do a project for them, maybe build a home for them. They're still taking care of the people, let's say it's their parents or anything. And then they say, let them entrust them with some money. But eventually they come back and they realize the photos they were given were not the original photos. And those property that they thought was being built or the projects done never really happened. And when they ask father, they say, so what? Or in sad cases, others are even killed for asking questions, which are legitimate questions. And that's the reality of life. Do we know the next person? No, we don't. You could date someone, whether you know them physically or virtually, whichever way, and they'll tick all the boxes. They'll have all the right trust. They'll have everything. Do we really know them? No. Because as they tell you all the good words, how many other people are they doing the same? How many times do you do virtual dating and meet the person and everything kind of have some red flags, but by the time you figure it out, some people it's too late. Some people get to escape, but with deep scars. The fact is, I don't know the person next to me, the east or to the west. Do you mean I can't trust? No. Just means you need to be open-minded to know that you will be failed, mostly by the ones close to you. And the others further than you doesn't mean they're any better than that. And that's why we always need to pray, because we move in the spiritual, because there are things we cannot figure out, whether we like it. We are limited for a reason. Because if you had it all figured out, then why would you want to go before God and pray? Well, you have it all figured out. We have our limits. That's why smart person will settle down with someone's very different, and they're thinking, how does that couple work it out? God will always find a way to put two and two together and it will work out for his glory and for his honor. So every time you come and say, you know what, my friend will take care of my kids, yada yada. No, they won't. They will when you're alive. When you're dying, the signs will be there, but when you're gone, your kids are on their own. So for those who have your, don't know, godfather this, godmother that, then my kids are sorted. Sorry to burst your bubble. Doesn't work like that. You hope, you think it will, doesn't. So pray. Teach your kids to pray. Put your trust in God. Teach them the right way. I leave everything to God. Because you physically being on the ground, there are things you can't stop just by your presence. But when you're gone, no one cares. You can be the CEO or managing director or whatever high ranking leader you may be, and people will respect you until that crown is gone. And then everybody starts saying, oh, it's just another one, just like us. How many times do people put on just regular clothes, move into something, and then realize the level of respect they get or the things they learn, people talk about them, makes them feel off? Because that's how life is. People will show you what they want to show you, but who they really are, they'll keep it. So be very careful. Be prayerful. Discern. You see a red flag, it's a red flag. And be a person with a stand. Make your stand. Stand up for something, something you believe in. Don't move with the wave. This jumps, you jump. This goes, this goes. No. Be someone with a firm stand. Know what you want and what you need and where you need to be. And hopefully eventually you get there. But we can't get it with our own strength. We need the grace and mercies of God. Because others will lie to you, to pursue other spiritually quoted ways, to move into other dimensions. It always ends one place, 6 feet, and you'll burn in hell for it. Is it really worth it in the end? Because remember one thing, 100 years from now, there's someone better than you. 100 years before that, someone was doing the same thing you're doing today. 100 years from now, someone do the same thing. Who's smart? We are here for a time, for a purpose, and for a reason. Pray, may God guide you, and stay alert at all times. Pray, and have a teachable spirit. You will be rescued by someone you'll be very surprised. So do not underestimate and think just because you're doing good, that's because you're standing for a cause and you have all these people behind you, does not mean they'll stand with those whom are your own flesh and blood, or those still you're taking care of. There are people who take care of animals, whether it's in a zoo or in a ranch, wherever it may be. Once they're gone, those animals are mistreated. A person can start up a child orphanage and everything's okay, or a children's home. Once they're gone, those kids are mistreated. Guess who does it? That person they trusted. That person they helped. That person they raised. How many people adopt and raise this young man or woman? And when they're old, that same person stabs them in the back. We don't know each other as much as we think. Does not mean we cannot trust, just means treat everyone and every situation with a pinch of salt. But the only way to pull through and to escape some of these traps, go on your knees, present everything to God, and let Him be your guide. May God be with you. God be with you.